Hey loves, it's your girl, the Dopest nerd. Come on in here, guys. We have a conversation to have. This one is about Cardi B and her recent filing for divorce from her husband, Offset. I have seen comments, oh my goodness, from one end of the spectrum to the next. And I'm telling you, like, we're not a monolith, so we all have our own ideas and thoughts about how things should run. But I am very awestruck about some of the things some of you have to say. First and foremost, regardless of what you think about Cardi B, let's separate the music and all of that stuff and the artistry from the woman. Fundamentally, this is a relationship between a man and a woman. And here's the irony. So many people want fame, stardom, and notoriety, but they don't want what comes with it. And that is having millions of people within the confines of your relationship trying to make comments and decisions on how you should comport yourself. Now, first and foremost, Cardi B's a married woman. She is married to Offset, and their covenant bond should be before the Lord. So how they decide to mitigate or deal with the repercussions of what has taken place in their marriage, really and truly, they're not asking any of your, including myself, they're not asking our opinion. Now, of course, they are public figures, and so because we have given so much to their careers, we feel like we have a voice and an opinion and a share and a right to share about what we think about their relationship. And so that part is understandable. But what I hear and what I've read gives me a moment of pause. I hear women calling her stupid and telling her all these negative things. Hello, this covenant relationship and this covenant bond is between her and her husband. Listen, there are going to be times where, and there are times where within the confines of your own personal relationships, you guys are enduring some of the exact same things and worse, but you stand so firmly on what she should do. Well, here's the thing. The decision to leave your mate is a personal decision between you and the Most High and your mate, if you should choose to discuss that with your mate. If you guys are at an impasse and you're unable to have these kind of conversations in a healthy environment and your decision is that you are going to leave, that decision is between you and God, and you move at your own pace. It is not predicated on the pace of the internet and what they say. Some of you guys are overly invested and out of pocket. This woman is trying to hold her marriage together. So she may have filed previously and she may have decided in the past that it didn't work for her and she walked away, but she went back. I hear people online, predominantly women, calling her stupid. When some of you don't even have the benefit of a covenant bond, you're with a guy who is just your boyfriend and you have endured 9 million times worse and you're still hanging on by a thread. And there is no covenant bond. Come on. If you call for the end of someone's relationship without being personally involved and knowing every iota of what they're going through, you're literally damning yourself to the same fate. How would you feel if someone completely unrelated to you put their 2 cents in on whether or not your mate should walk away from you? We got to do better. This is a woman and a man, for whatever his shortcomings are, trying to work on their relationship. And listen, whether or not he is a cheater, it's not predicated on her. It is not her responsibility, nor is it a reflection of who she is as a woman. That's everything to do with who he is as a man and how he feels about himself. And it's a shame that he doesn't feel secure enough to have a discussion with his woman when it comes to any shortcomings within the relationship. The fact that he seeks to step outside of the commitment and the covenant bond that he made whenever things are going wrong, it's a reflection on him. And guess who's going to have to answer to that? He's going to have to answer to his maker about that. That is no reflection on Cardi. Life is not easy, and relationships certainly are not easy. We all have issues that need tissues, and some of them manifest themselves within the confines of our relationships. We are an amalgamation of the subconscious training that we've had and then our conscious purview on life. And so sometimes that subconscious voice is louder than your own conscious voice. But guess what? That subconscious voice is not your own. You think it is, but it's the programming of the people who you grew up around, of your parents, of your elders, of all those people who told you what you should do and how you should function within a relationship or within how you should comport yourself in life. Listen to me. Be very careful not to mix subconscious programming with your own conscious programming. It doesn't always resonate. First and foremost, if it is the programming you received growing up, then that is of a different time. Secondly, the people who subconsciously put these themes and mentalities in your brain don't themselves oftentimes use that. It sounds good. We all have a narrative that we say to others and then that we do. It's almost like that old parable our parents used to use. Do as I say and not as I do. I mean, you know, it almost sounds kind of hypocritical. You have to make decisions predicated on what works best for your life. I keep telling people, play to the strengths of your own relationship. You should not be ascribing to what societally sounds good. A lot of people are doing this. Well, you're the man, so you should take out the garbage, and I'm the woman, so I should cook dinner. You have to ascribe to what works best in your relationship and stop falling for this old okie doke about that's a woman's thing and that's a man's thing. You have to play to the strengths of your relationship. You know, someone in a relationship may be better at handling business. That's the person that should handle the business. Someone else may be better at washing the white clothes. Do that, regardless of whose plate it falls on. You work to what's the best in your relationship. Oftentimes, when we try to listen to the world, that's where we fall short. And that's where the problems come in. This is not just a couple who, you know, are public figures and going through stuff. This is a couple who have children together, who are invested financially. And so if this woman, you know, filed for divorce or broke up with her man and got back together a few times, as you should, before you completely let go, you have to go through the ropes and really focus on how your life is going to change, what you are. You have to exhaust every remedy within the confines of a safe relationship, every possible remedy to help it last, especially given the fact that she is hormonal and pregnant right now. The decision-making process will not be easy. And sometimes when we're charged hormonally and we are under the specter of light, we can jump and make decisions that don't comport with how we really feel. Guys, ease up and give her a break. Ease up and give her a break. The person who is responsible for the infidelities in the relationship is the person who is being an infidel. It's unfair. It's unfair to judge a woman for wanting to hold her relationship together, predicated on the fact that her man doesn't know how to act. It's unfair and it's so selfish. Some of you guys are all too happy to tear another woman down. And we've talked a lot on the internet, on the landscape, on the global landscape about toxic masculinity. But there's another conversation we need to have, and I'll follow up with that conversation on another video. But we need to discuss toxic femininity. It is rampant, especially now in this day and age where the message is, yeah, women can do anything. We can. But it doesn't mean we have to pick up the cauldron of what someone else has done to us. If we think the way we've been treated in the past by men and in situations that are predominantly feminine, if we think that our treatment has been poor based on the patriarchy and toxic masculinity, it doesn't mean the solution is to then pick up their behaviors and do it back to them. Two wrongs don't make a right. We should not lose ourselves when we are attempting to right a situation. And let me tell you something. Some people feel so insecure in themselves that they are all too willing to tear another woman down for the purposes of feeling good themselves. Trust me, at the end of the day, there is no special trophy or prize for you. You don't get anything for tearing down another woman. It's not going to improve your life. I need every woman who has said something evil, wicked, nasty, mean-spirited to another woman just because to bring out your trophies and your crowns and your bags of money and your jackpots that you received. Lay them bare. Tag me with pictures down below. I'll wait. But I know you can't do it because guess what? There are none. Let's stop tearing. You don't even have to like someone. I would never come here and say something like, oh, everybody has to love each other, because that's nonsense. I'm not going to like everybody. There are some people, listen, there are some of you out here right now that will not like me. It's all well and good. I give blessings and good tidings to you. You're not obligated to like me. But here's what you're obligated to do. Act like you got half a brain. Stop imposing standards on people that you yourself can't maintain. Some of you are standing so high on a soapbox, and baby, it is shaky and the wood is crumbling. Like literally, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Stop wishing for another woman that which you don't want for yourself. And here's the big deal. What I know, because Cardi and Offset kept their marriage a secret in the beginning, and all of you people were, not all of you people, only the people who did this. The people who tried to drag her for filth and thought it was a flex to be like, oh, she's a baby mother. He's not going to want you just like he don't want his other baby mothers. Hello, he married her. That's half the battle. There are so many of you who are in those very same relationships, but you're not married because it's a control tactic. If you've been in a relationship with someone for an extremely long amount of time, let's say over what is comfortable for, and like I said, there is no standard. The standard is you. So if you think that you've been with someone for 2 years and that's an ample amount of time for him to decide if he's interested in marrying you, and you have a child and all these things, and yet you guys are still just hanging on. Let's say if you've been in a relationship, some of you have been there for 10 years, no ring, no commitment, and dealing with these very same issues. Not only do I feel like you're not in a place to judge, but you should probably take the energy and time that you're using on Cardi B to evaluate your own situation and make a decision for yourself that is going to bring about your own peace. Ultimately, this is not here as a judgment. What I'm saying is, and what I will always say to you is, let's lead with grace and mercy. Let's lead with take away the title, the notoriety, the celebrity, and just let's deal with a woman who is going through trials and tribulations with her man, a man who's going through trials and tribulations or is suffering from low self-esteem and doesn't have the tools to be able to interact with the person that he made a covenant bond with and have a wholesome discussion and make a decision that's in the best interest for their children and themselves. Let's stop being so willing to judge and criticize the actions of someone when we ourselves are in that same situation. That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to judge. I am here to give a fresh perspective on the conversation. So, as always, I love my nerd herd, and until we meet again, guys, see you soon.